This fight was the best indicator yet of Erin Blanchfield's complete MMA skill set, showing both reach and limitations. The good news is that she won, despite going 0-14 on takedown attempts. The bad news is she went 0-14 on takedown attempts. Give Taila Santos a ton of credit for the takedown defense, but it's still a bit concerning for Erin Blanchfield. It's not as if her efforts were just shrugged off completely. Erin Blanchfield worked into some fantastic takedown opportunities with good timing and variety. She got deep into Santos's hips on multiple occasions, clasped her hands together along the fence, and executed a nice inside trip, and still, none of it worked. Even when Santos was visibly tired at the end of the fight, Erin Blanchfield couldn't get her down. But she still won the fight despite all this. When you project forward, you'd like to see her finish some of those takedown attempts. Overall, Erin Blanchfield is continuing to grow, and she is a fighter. She has a ton of will, and that's what this fight showed the most, the ability to overcome adversity, bite down on her mouthpiece, and walk into the heat Santos was throwing from the opening bell. She has a high fight IQ and ended up clearly winning despite the 0-14 mark on takedowns. Had it been known going in that Erin Blanchfield wouldn't land a single takedown attempt, the majority would have put their money on Santos, and they would have been holding a losing ticket. Erin Blanchfield should be the next challenger for the women's flyweight title, regardless of what happens in a fight between Manon Fiorot and Rose Namajunas next week. She's won 6 in a row now, the longest active win streak in the division, and she's done so against established names. She's a threat, but probably not a favorite against either Alexa Grasso or Valentina Shevchenko, but at 24, there's no other matchup that makes sense for her. With Shevchenko suddenly human after years of dominance, the top of this division looks extremely competitive. These outcomes are going to be hard to predict. Max Holloway picked up his 20th win in UFC's featherweight division, and Chan Sung Jung exited the sport the only way he knew how on his shield. Holloway knocked out Jung, aka Korean Zombie, at the 23-second mark of the 3rd round at UFC Fight Night on Saturday. The featherweight bout headlined the event, which took place inside Singapore Indoor Stadium. The victory further added to Holloway's dominance of the UFC featherweight record book. Holloway, who dedicated the win to his home state of Hawaii in the wake of the devastating fires there recently, paid homage to Jung in his post-fight interview. "This man's a legend," Holloway said. "He's Korean Zombie for a reason. The man is a myth, a legend. I'm just lucky my right hand landed before his." At the start of the 3rd round, Jung of South Korea seemed to make a conscious decision to go for broke. He came out ultra-aggressive on the feet, marching forward with wild power punches and combinations. Holloway, a former champion, expertly evaded the shots and came back with a heavy right-hand counter that sent Jung to the canvas. It was an impressive performance by Max Holloway from the start. Jung had his moments and was competitive in the 1st round, but Holloway was mostly in control. He hurt Jung with a left hook in the opening round and dropped him with a right hand in the 2nd. He nearly finished the fight shortly after the knockdown with a Darcy choke, but Jung survived. Holloway has now won 18 of his past 21 fights at featherweight, with all 3 losses coming against the current champion and #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Alexander Volkanovski. The 31-year-old is in somewhat of a title fight limbo because of his 0-3 record against the champion, but he is clearly the top 145-pound fighter in the world outside of Volkanovski. The final moments of this fight accurately symbolize Jung's lasting legacy in the sport. He gained notoriety in 2010 with a Fight of the Year candidate against Leonard Garcia in his WEC debut. He was known for his excellent chin and aggressive style. He fought for the UFC championship twice, against Jose Aldo in 2013 and Volkanovski in 2022. He also lost 4 years of his career from 2013 to 2017 because of South Korea's mandatory military service time.